Okay, I'm always trying to learn how to, I'm always studying, I'm always researching on how to learn things faster because the accumulation of knowledge is what makes us wise. Okay, my name's Andy Lee Graham, and I've lived in 114 countries, and I've done that for 26 plus years. I'm presently in the country of Colombia, and life is good. But what I keep breaking things down to. Uh, Life is like an epigraph, a quote at the beginning of your story. Okay, an epigraph is that quote when they're quoting Einstein or Benjamin Franklin or somebody at the beginning, and that leads into the story. But also in reverse, when we study something, we need to look for the quotes. Okay, so if you're studying in school, what you do is you take a highlighter or whatever. I take a pen, and then I put a little asterisk in the corner of that page saying there's something on that page, and then I do it. I also can do this on FB Reader, my digital reader. I can actually create a whole set of bookmarks. But I believe that if you're reading or watching a video or you're doing any kind of information collection and you're not taking notes, you really are just playing games, okay? Because the activation of the brain really starts when you start identifying slogans or quotes. Okay, so what you see is famous politicians awfully, like right now, Donald Trump is saying MAGA, make America great again. Uh, Obama said change. I have no idea what that meant, but he knew that the word change made people happy. Okay, so they talk like a preacher. A preacher repeats things a lot of times. But when you're reading, you have to think like the preacher, trying to figure out how the preacher wrote the article or what you're reading or what you're listening to. Uh, when I'm watching a movie and they have the credits at the top, at the beginning of the movie or the television show, I say the name of the actors out loud. Okay, sometimes I write them down. Okay, but if I really wanted to know, I would repeat it. I think all school should be taught on, should be recorded, and the student should be able to go home and watch the lesson 5, 6, 8, 10 times instead of having the student that is the better person at taking notes win. Okay, I think knowledge should be open to everybody. A democracy of knowledge means that, to me, you make it so that even the slowest person can somehow find a way through brute force, energy, work to learn the subject. That's the reason why I truly think that all classes should be recorded, okay? But I actually think the best teacher on the planet ought to teach the class, and then nobody takes notes while they're doing that. They're listening, they're trying to understand, they're trying to choose the proper words, and then they watch it again. And then the teacher talks about it, then he or she would identify slogans. So I'm going to give you some examples of what I'm talking about, but these are benchmark phrases. Every time I read something, every time I watch something, every time I hear something, every time I'm talking to somebody, I'm looking for the benchmark phrase that chunks it down, that identifies what I'm involved in. It's an identifier to a bigger meaning. I'm going to talk. Okay, I'll talk about some weightlifting ones. I'm always vigilant to find slogans or quotes, but they really need to be, they're more of a slogan, something you can put on a bumper sticker, right? Not a quote that has a paragraph long. You can't really repeat. A good quote or good slogan a person can remember and say again out loud to another person. Something that's too long is done. So Mark Twain would study for hours and hours and hours on how to make a quotable phrase. And I believe that a good writer, spends their whole time putting in the first opening phrase, one quotable phrase. But it steers the ship. It's a tag. It's a keyword. It's something I can grasp. It's something I can hold on to. It helps me steer my ship. But I believe unless we take notes, outline, categorize knowledge that we read, hear, or watch, it is lost. Okay? If you want to lose knowledge, don't do anything but just listen and act like you are, eidetic memory, photographic memory, and you can remember anything and everything you do. People can't do that. But they actually believe that they can remember with one listening, that they can remember something. The reason why I acquire a lot of knowledge is because I'm always interacting with the knowledge. Whether it's, we'll get this a little closer. But in the health frame, one of the things Joe Rogan said, but many people say it, you can't outrun a bad diet. What does this mean? It means you can't run enough to stay thin if your diet is bad. People think that they can exercise and lose weight. It don't work that way. You cannot outrun a bad diet. Abs are created in the kitchen. Again, abdominal muscles. If you want that six-pack abs, you got to do it in the kitchen. That means where you don't eat. It's all about cutting weight and losing weight. But motion is lotion. I just heard this the other day. I'm realizing that my knees need lubricated, and so the way to get them lubricated is to have motion is lotion. What that means is you take non-weight bearing motion, like just swinging your legs out, and the synovial fluid lubricates the joints. No pain, no gain. My mother, when I was teaching her to walk again after she was in a physical therapy place, she didn't understand that her muscles were supposed to hurt when she exercised. I said, Mom, when you exercise, you're ripping your muscle, and the rebuilding of that muscle makes it bigger. To get big muscles, you have to continually micro break them. Okay, but no pain, no gain. Absolutely essential to gain muscle. Okay, Alcoholics Anonymous, here's some phrase. One day at a time. What does that mean? It means emotionally you can't handle the whole world. You can't sit there and say, oh, my whole life, blah, 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 blah. But you can handle today, or maybe you can handle the next 10 minutes, or maybe you can handle the next hour. One compartment at a time, one day at a time. Serenity prayer. It separates the things you can change from the things you can't change. A lot of people are always trying to change things that they cannot change. It's actually as dysfunctional as you can get to try to change something that is not possible to change. Okay, it's like defund the police. This is absolutely the most ridiculous statement I've ever heard in my life, because it is not possible. Okay, you can say redo the police, rework the police, make them into a better, more efficient police, but to just remove all things and remove them is not going to work. A serenity prayer. KISS, keep it simple, stupid. KISS, keep it simple, stupid means don't be analyzing everything so complicated. What people say is what they mean. If they tell you they're a loser, you believe it. If they tell you they're a winner, you believe it. If they say that the day sucks, you got to believe them. But whatever comes out of your mouth is who you become. So keep it simple. If you're going to continually say negative things about yourself, you're going to become a negative person. Here's one that I always think is kind of a stolen quote from Einstein. My best thinking created me, the alcoholic. You can't solve a problem which was created from your very best thinking. A person cannot solve a problem with the very same thinking with which they created it. Here's some business quotes. Don't take advice from someone who can make money by giving you bad advice. I don't know how many times, like stockbrokers, real estate agents. I mean, so many people can make money, travel agents. All these people can make money by giving you bad advice. Preachers, they can make money by telling you what you want to hear. Don't take advice from somebody that can make advice by giving you bad advice. In business, get the completion high. I don't care what you do. I only care what you finish. Go for the completion high. Some quotes on travel. The bigger the city, the bigger the problem. That's my quote. The bigger the city, the bigger the problem. If you want a life of ease, keep the city small. Inside the United States, that's a city less than 10,000 people. Abroad in foreign countries, the developing world, it's a city of less than 30,000. If you can't, if you want to be able to walk across the city, smile at everyone, say hello to everyone. Why? Because that opens the door to having help from everybody. The more times you say hello to somebody, the more people that are willing to help you. You don't move countries, you move hotels. Now, a lot of people are saying, I'm going to this country, I'm going to say, where are you going to live? No, I don't know. I said, you got to study where you're moving to, because what you do is you move from hotels to hotels. Most people can't travel because they're double dipping their cost of living. They get to pay for the hotel, plus they get to, that they're moving to, plus they get to pay for the home at the. A traveler is a person that doesn't rent by the year, doesn't have a permanent residence. I mean, in a sense that they don't have monthly payments. Find the traveler's huddle. Okay, the traveler's huddle is the table of knowledge. There's a table of knowledge of anywhere you go, whether you're going into, I'm going in Angola, Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana. There's always a group of people that are in the know, the smart people. So you want to find the traveler's huddle. I find it the coffee clutch, the different things. Create your traveler's nest. You got to know what you personally enjoy in life, and that's your own personal nest. What you put in the nest is what makes you happy. If you are following somebody else's lead, you are not living your life, you're living their life. When you watch, when people watch videos, you should be trying to figure out how to create your life, not live my life, okay? When people say they vicariously live through me, I'm not really happy. I want them to basically live their own life. Here's a travel quote. It's easier to save $1 than to earn $1. I work mostly on saving money. I don't work very much on earning money because it's easier. I can actually save $5, $10 very easy. Living abroad is very difficult to make $10. It's extremely easy to save $10. But it's not an equal thing. It's not like $1 saved is $1 earned. It's really $10 earned to have $1 saved. So they're not equal. $10 saved is easy to do. Earning $1 takes a lot of work. Find your personal phrases. If you cannot name a few in your personal business, and maybe you don't know it. Maybe you don't know it. Some of you know I was a real estate broker. I used to say, somebody would say, how do I know you're a good real estate broker? Well, it'll be proven on the day that you sell your house. Because if the house that I sold you sells easy, quick, and increases in value and appreciates, and it's a thing, you will know that I was a good person that sold you a very good wanted house. It's decided on the day you sell the house. Second quote, a real estate agent can explain value. If a real estate agent can explain value of the house, why this house has the value, they are just a person with keys. Most real estate agents put a sign in the yard. They can't explain the value. They don't know the value. They basically price it at whatever. Strategically, they just don't understand what they're doing. What do I do in real estate when the phone rings? I ask them if they want to go look at the property. I try desperately to teach people that are selling real estate to do that. All you got to do is when somebody calls, say, hey, do you want to go look at it? Because they don't want to offend you. They don't want to take up your time. And you say, hey, that's what I do for a living. I show property. When in the house, I only got one go. You say, do you want to buy it? Okay, these are some slogans, and these are some quotes, and these are some earmark ways, benchmark phrases that you can build on. Okay, so in your business, I hope you understand some almost cliche phrases that define what you are doing. Okay, and if you know, who was it? Albert Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply to a sixth grader, you really don't know what you're talking about. Okay, And don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here acting like I'm the world's greatest speaker, but I do have one of the greatest lives there is. Become a Patreon where you get to communicate with me. Patreon members, as little as $5. I do realize that some of you don't want to use your credit card on Patreon. You can send me $60, which would be 1 year's worth of $5 a month, and I'll add you to the Zoom list. Zelle is the way to do that. My emails and my telephone number are in the description on every video I make. Okay, I'm here and you're not. Why not? Why do I say that? Because I want you to think. The goal of making a video, of writing something, is to make you to think, to take you and put you a killer, to take you and tip you over a little, just to make you tip. It's to make you a little off center, off plumb. I want you to think. If somebody only says things that make you feel happy, you will not remember what they say. Now, if they say quotable things, you'll remember the quotes. Now, a lot of people just quote other people. That's all they do, is just continuously quote other people, and they tailgate, they coattail it, and they basically are always saying what somebody else says. That is not thing. My favorite quote of all time is, will I be the hero of my life, or will that station be held by anyone else? These pages will tell. Because that is the goal. That is the mission, to be the hero of our own life. Quotes, slogans, mottos. These are little nails that we can grab onto. These are hooks that we can hook onto when we're watching a video, or we're reading, or we're watching any kind of media. If you're not trying to grasp these things, the art of learning is lost. Okay, I'm Andy Lee Grant.